From Dharmasthal, we went to Gokarnam, which is very near to Arabian Ocean. First, we went to a Brahmin's family home and put our luggage and went to the beach, where we saw a number of tortoises on the beach, and they were very big in size. I stayed there for more than 1 hour. From there, we went to the temple and we did puja to the Gokarna Linga. This linga was put on the ground by Lord Ganesha from Ravana. It was a Atmalinga who took from Shiva. It was having very big story, and it is the wonderful temple nearby Arabian Ocean. I knew about this temple from a youth, and we had stayed here one night. Next day we had a plan to go Goa on the bus. We have started our journey towards Marmagova. Up to Marmagova we went in a bus. Then we got down nearby a river and got into a ship. This ship took us to Marmagova town. We had paid huge amount in a lodge and took a shelter. Next day we took a taxi to go Panaji and Vasco da Gama. This taxi wala had shown us Mangesh temple and number of beaches. And Mangesh temple was very beautiful one, situated nearby beach. We had seen more than 6 beaches. They were clean and beautiful. We went to Vasco da Gama, where we saw Vasco da Gama Museum, Albuquerque Governor General of Portuguese Government Museum. We saw their dresses, their ornaments, weapons, and utensils. We saw wonderful churches constructed by Portuguese kings and authorities. Saint Francis' body was placed in a box in a beautiful church. Since 400 years it was there in the church itself. Thousands of European pilgrims would come and see him in the month of December. We saw the iron ore which was poured in the ships. From here export would take place either to Japan or to many other East Asia countries. In Goa, liquor and sea products are easily available. People could drink the liquors from the morning itself. People are humble and they would give respect to the visitors or tourists. We had stayed here for 3 days, seeing beaches, forests, temples, churches. We felt very much happy and enjoyed the Goa city. Before going to Goa, I thought that we can see only churches, but we saw number of beautiful and wonderful temples in Goa. From Goa, we went to Sringeri Mutt. It is situated on the mountainside. We have traveled for more than 8 hours through the thickest forests of Karnataka. The climate in Sringeri was nice and cool. We saw Saraswati Mata temple established by Jagadguru Shankaracharya. We had darshan of Mata Saraswati, and we did archana to Mataji. Nearby this temple, Vidyaranya temple was situated. It is very beautiful and marvelous, constructed on the principles of astronomy and Vastu Shastra. We had the darshan of Junior Shankaracharya Swamis. I was very much elated to see this precious and powerful temple. In the night at PM, we started towards Bangalore. We got into the bus and traveled to Bangalore. We took lodge in Bangalore. We woke up early in the morning and took a taxi for sightseeing. We saw Lal Bagh Garden, Assembly, High Court, Tipu Sultan Building and Chamundeshwari Hills, Zoo Park and Visheshwara Technological Museum. I have seen Bangalore for 3 times. We have seen all the important places in Bangalore. We have seen all the important gardens in the Bangalore. My parents felt very much happy. By the blessing of God, my parents did not face any physical or psychological problem. They were calm and peaceful and were enjoying the tours very nicely. From Bangalore we went to Mysore, where we got down into a Muslim's house for payment. We took taxi and went to Srirangapatnam, where we have seen Sri Rangaswamy temple. It is constructed by Sri Krishna Devaraya, and it is very wonderful one. The sculpture in this temple is marvelous. Nearby this temple, Tipu Sultan was killed by Robert Clive. That place also very important. Many visitors would come and see this place. From this temple we went to Vrindavan Garden and we stayed more than 2 hours in this beautiful garden. The garden is filled with beautiful trees and plants. The plants are covered with beautiful flowers. We wandered on the Krishna Sagar Dam for a couple of minutes and thousands of people used to come this garden. We came to Mysore Palace and saw it for more than 1 hour. I had watched each and every valuable thing in the palace. I saw all the paintings in the palace. I saw awesome furniture in the palace. It is very rich and beautiful. It is a good experience for us to see this palace. We felt very much happy to see this marvelous palace. From this palace we came back to our home and we planned to go Ooty and Coimbatore tomorrow morning. Here the Muslim candidate deceived us with his beautiful words. He took extra money from us. In this way, we have completed more than 1 week in different places in Karnataka. All these places are wonderful, beautiful, and marvelous. My parents and the friends of my parents also were very happy with all these places. Sometimes we had traveled in autos, sometimes we had traveled on jet cars, sometimes we had traveled on boats, sometimes we had traveled on ships also. From Mysore, we went to Ooty. We directly went to Jawaharlal Nehru Botanical Garden. This is a wonderful park in South India. When compared to Vrindavan Garden, it is very, very amazing and beautiful because we could see different types of plants, trees, and variety of flowers in this garden. The grass in this garden covers hundreds of hectares and it was spongy. We had stayed in this garden more than 1 hour. The climate was very cold. While going to Ooty, we came across with tea and coffee plantation and these plantations spreading over thousands of square kilometers. The eucalyptus trees were very large and very lengthy. There was a lake and people would come for boating in this lake. We could see a number of beautiful sceneries in the Ooty area. From Ooty, we went to Coimbatore. We did not see important places here, but my father and his friend purchased some pearls. From here, we went to Madras. We had stayed in a small lodge nearby railway station. We took a car for rent and visited different important places in Madras. We saw Living Animal College and Dead Animal College. We had seen temples of Muruga and Vishnu temple. We went to Marina Beach where we had seen Annadurai's Samadhi and spent a couple of minutes here. Next day we went to Mahabalipuram, Vishnu Kanchi and Shiva Kanchi. The temples are very nice. Beautiful sculpture was there in those temples. These temples were marvelous. The Kalyana Mandapams were designed nicely and they were made up of block granite stone. Vishnu Kanchi and Shiva Kanchi temples were built by great Emperor Sri Krishna Deva Raya. Mandapam pillars can produce melodious music. My father and my mother enjoyed all these places wholeheartedly. We came to Mahabaleshwar beach and watched the temples constructed by the Pallavas. From here, we went to Pondicherry in the train. I used to carry the heavy luggage from one place to another place. My mother was in the habit of purchasing different utensils for our family. We took a room in the lodge. Then the city was built by French people. It was colony of French people in India. The city was designed nicely and it was very systematically planned. I moved here and there in the city for hours together and observed many things in the city. After having lunch, we went to Aravinda Ashramam and saw Samadhi of Sri Aravinda Ghosh and Mother. We had seen the house of Aravinda Ghosh. He was a famous freedom fighter. He was active participant in Vande Mataram movement. Aravinda Ghosh actively participated in Vande Mataram movement after Bengal division in 1905. He became extremist and asked the Britishers to leave as early as possible. Britishers issued order to arrest him, so he came to French colony to escape his arrest. He was deeply involved in spiritual practices in Pondicherry. Lord Krishna gave darshan to him and asked him to retreat from the politics, and at the same time Lord Krishna revealed that Mahatma Gandhi can bring freedom to India. So he kept away from politics and provided spiritual energy for freedom struggle with his tapas. I knew all these things about Aravinda Ghosh and had great respect for him. He wrote hundreds of books which were kept in the ashram. By seeing all these books and material, I felt very much happy and thanked the God for showing this great personality of great India. In Pondicherry, I went to beachside and saw the Bay of Bengal. We had traveled with great enthusiasm and watched different things with great inquisitiveness. My father and mother detached with home affairs at Gujarat. They simply spent their time in seeing wonderful places. The nature and the temples can give us so much of energy. Our soul can get charged with the energies from the nature and from the spiritual centers. If we move in the nature, we can get abundance of energy. Temples can transmit culture, values, and arts from one generation to another. They are the community centers. Temple can produce positive vibrations, and if we go to temples, our bodies can absorb these positive vibrations and we can become healthy and wealthy. From here, by staying in the lodge, we took a car and went to Vsnm.My. In the morning itself, we directly went into Arunachaleshwara temple and had the darshan of Arunachaleshwara. We wandered all over the temple. It was the biggest temple and made up of granite. The gopurams in all directions are very high, made up of white granite. After seeing this temple, after having darshan of the Lord, we went to see Ramana Maharshi Ashram. This Ramana Maharshi Ashram was situated very near to this temple. We had the darshan of Ramana Maharshi in the temple, and we stayed in the Ramana Maharshi Ashram and observed different things in the ashram. I am happy to see the Ramana Maharshi Ashram because he was a great inspirer. He was the most powerful philosopher in Advaita. Hundreds of Westerners would come and stay in the ashram. They can do meditation in the ashram. They can learn yoga and Advaita philosophy in this ashram. From here again we went back to Pondicherry. From Pondicherry we decided to go other places. I would like to add some more points to Ramana Maharshi. Ramana Maharshi was a sage and a Jivan Mukta. He was born in a Brahmin family. He was considered as the reincarnation of Sri Subramanya Swami. He was born in one village, Tiruchi, that is Tiruchi, and he came to Tiruvannamalai to spend his life in Arunachaleshwara temple at the age of 16. He did great tapasya in the temple. He was not aware of the world at that time. He faced many problems with the insects while doing his sadhana. He went to the caves of Arunachaleshwara mountain and did meditation for hours together. People recognized him and started respecting him. He got enlightenment through self-enquiry method. He became symbol of Advaita Vedanta. Who am I? Is the question he used to ask himself while doing sadhana or meditation. He got answer to this question. He said that we are not body but we are the soul. He taught many spiritual values. Millions of people from east and west became his disciples. He not only taught Advaita Vedanta, he also asked to follow the path of bhakti and other pathways to lead God. I too became, after seeing this ashram, I came to know many things about Ramana Maharshi. My father, mother and I stayed in this ashram for more than 2 hours. Ramana Maharshi ashram principles are liberal, whereas Aravinda ashram principles are somewhat rigid. But the followers of Sri Aravinda won't allow the ordinary people into the ashram on all occasions. From Pondicherry we went to Tanjavur on train. Once upon a time, it was the capital city of Cholan Empire, famous for arts and culture in South India. We took a room in a lodge which was very near to Brihadeshwara temple. After seeing this wonderful city and temples, we went to one more internationally famous city, that is Chidambaram. Chidambaram temple was very big. I was surprised to see this beautiful temple. Chidambaram. Nataraja, Shiva as cosmic dancer, inspired the 10th century Chola kings to rebuild the Chidambaram temple with stone and gold. A silver Nataraja, not Shivalinga, is the principal icon in this temple. According to Sangam tradition, a temple existed along with Madurai in ancient time. Shiva Nataraja was the family deity of early Cholas. The present temple was built in 10th century when Chidambaram was the capital city of Chola dynasty. It is one of the oldest surviving active temple complexes in South India. It is also a site for performance art, including annual Natyanjali dance festival on Mahasivaratri. This temple spread over 40 acres within a square courtyard. In the center, its side roads are aligned to east-west, north-south axis. It has double walls around its periphery with garden. It has it has entrance gateway on all four sides. Chidambaram. The name of the city literally means atmosphere of wisdom or clothed in thought. The temple architecture symbolizes the connection between the art and spirituality, creative activity and divine. The temple wall carving display all 108 Karanas from Natya Shastra by Bharata Muni, and these postures form a foundation of Bharatanatyam, a classical Indian dance. The architecture in this temple is Dravidian. All the temples I mentioned are very great and symbol for advanced engineering technology. One of the most marvelous exhibitions of human labor to be found even in the patent East. Great nations of the world have left behind them unmistakable evidence of their greatness in the work of art. Judged by the standard of art, Indian civilization must be regarded as occupying a very high place. It exhibits not only grace and refinement but technical skill and patent industry of a very high quality. From Chidambaram, we went to Kanyakumari. It is the end point of South India, where the three oceans in the Indian Ocean, the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Ocean could meet here. We took a room in a lodge. We put our luggage in the lodge. Last night, I didn't have sound sleep as I had been moved from one coach to another coach for more than 2 hours to trace out my parents. While coming to Kanyakumari, my mother and my father's friend's wife sat in the ladies' coach. Hurriedly, we sat in other coach. After 2 hours traveling, the coaches were changed in one station. So I started to trace them. It took more than 2 hours. Then this is a unforgettable incident. This was an unforgettable incident. In the morning, we went to have darshan of Mata Kanyakumari. We went to temple and we did archana to Mataji. We have stayed in front of Mata and prayed her. Her nose ring was shining like a lamp. It was very precious jewel. People said that in the night the jewel shines like a small lamp. From here we went to see Swami Vivekananda's temple constructed on a rock in the center of the sea. Here Swami did meditation for 3 days before going to America. I was very much excited to see this temple because he is my beloved Guru. He had been my inspiration. I am the follower of his philosophy, and he always stays in my heart, and he guides me in all the times. We went to the temple of Swami Vivekananda on a small ship. My heart was filled with peace and joy as long as I stayed in the temple. A meditation hall was there. We went into it and did meditation for a couple of minutes. We saw the tides touching the temple from all the sides. We were seeing three seas from the temple, thousands of people coming and going. All of them are shouting like children. We have stayed here more than 1 hour. My father, my mother, and those old people are also felt very happy to stay on that wonderful place. It is a wonderful memory. I never forget this wonderful and beautiful memory. We came back to our room and took rest for 2 hours and decided to go nearby places. We came to know that Suchendram was a famous temple nearby Kanyakumari. So we took auto and went to that place. It is a very big temple. The temple is totally made up of black granite. We have the darshan of Suchendra. We stayed here more than 1 hour. I wandered all over the temple and observed the sculpture in the temple. There are a number of statues were there in the temple. The temple are having number of pillars, and these pillars they can produce music. After seeing this temple again, we came back to Kanyakumari. We decided to go Rameshwaram. We took a train and we traveled in a train and got down in Ramanathapuram. Rameshwaram is an island which is situated in Indian Ocean. After getting down in Ramanathapuram, we catch one more train. This train goes to Rameshwaram on a bridge which is constructed in the sea. We have traveled on the sea. It looked like traveling on the sea. It's a wonderful experience. The Rameshwaram to Ramanathapuram, a bridge was constructed in 1914 AD by Britishers. Early morning, one train is there. We got into that train and started traveling. You will feel so much of excitement while traveling on the train. I think it was constructed train. The name of the bridge was Pambam Bridge. If any boat comes, the bridge would open and give way to cross the bridge, and again it will close. It is a wonderful bridge in India. This temple, and we reached to Rameshwaram, and we took a room in the lodge, and after having our bath and tiffin, we went to temple. This temple was built in 12th century by Pandyan's dynasty. The temple has the perfect corridor among all the Hindu temples in India. There are number of small temples are there inside a temple. We had bathed at different wells in the temple. The temple was very big and constructed by number of kings. We had stayed there for we had stayed in this Rameshwaram for 5 days. Every day I used to participate in the pujas and utsavas of the temple. Every day in the morning and in the evening we used to have the darshan of Ramalingeshwara and Parvati Mata. We did bath in the sea. The sea here is very calm. Ramanatha's Swami temple literally means the master of Rama, which refers to Lord Shiva. There were two lingams inside the temple. The temple Ramalingam was constructed by Sri Ramachandra and Devi Sita first did puja to that lingam, and it was built by sand. And Vishnatha lingam, one more lingam, Vishnatha lingam, brought by Lord Hanuman from Kailas and installed by Lord Rama. The temple can all of the temple is having all of thousand pillars. Several other shrines in the temple attract millions of pilgrims every year. Dhanishkoli temple, there is one more temple here. The name of the temple is Dhanishkoli. The southmost tip of Rameshwaram is known as Dhanishkoli, where Kodandarameswamy temple is located. It is the place where Ramanasura brothers Vibhishana first surrendered to Lord Rama. Rameshwaram is believed to be the place from where Lord Rama started his journey to get his wife from the Sri Lanka. And Lord, helped by Setu, Rama Setu was constructed by Sri Ramachandra, helped by Vanarasana. Sri Rama and Sita worshipped Lord Shiva as a part of penance for Ramanavantya. Ramana was planning. This huge temple was built in 12th century. A visit to Varanasi Uttar Pradesh is not considered complete in terms of pilgrimage if not coupled with trip to Rameshwaram. We took water from the wells of Rameshwaram, and my mother and my father want to immerse this water in the Ganga of Varanasi, and with some water we can do Abhisheka to Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu in Varanasi. We have stayed in Rameshwaram for 5 days. The 5 days my mother and father did many pujas. We did Abhishekam to Ramalingeshwara number of times. Generally, every evening we used to go to Rameshwara beach, where there is one evening we got to go on kilometers in a boat. It was a wonderful experience to us. Many boats are there, one there in the beach. Thousands of people can enjoy the boating in the sea. The tides in front of the Rameshwara temple are calm, and we don't see big tides in front of Rameshwara temple. But we go away from the Rameshwara temple, we will see very large tides. Staying in Rameshwaram for more than 5 days is nothing but it is the bless of God. Without the bless of God, we wouldn't have stayed there for 5 days. And these days are very memorable days in our lives. And we used to see almost all the things in the Rameshwaram island. People from different corners come to Rameshwaram and they feel surprise when they entered into temple by seeing the pillars in the temple, by seeing the sculpture in the temple. Even painting paintings are also there on the walls of the temple. Totally, it is a wonderful experience to stay and to see the Rameshwaram temple. The gopurams in four sides looks very beautiful, and the temple area and totally Rameshwaram is very neat and clean. People will come and enjoy, feel happy in staying Rameshwaram. It's a wonderful experience in our life. We will never forget those experiences in Rameshwaram. In all these days, I had experienced the bliss of God without my awareness. Time was passing, my parents' past karma or past lives punya palam was giving its results without our consciousness. But I am gradually understanding the role of God's bless on us. In all these days, our health and protection was looked after by the divine forces. My mother's mind was always in touch or in connection with the God. So the Lord was showing the wonderful things to us. In this world, there were millions of highly powerful persons and highly influenced peoples we could see, but they won't experience the world as we experienced in all these days. The presence of the divine forces through these temples and places are giving us immense happiness and joy. We are not born with golden spoon in our mouths. We were not born in the influenced family. We are not belongs to noble families. But God has given us the opportunity to see or experience thousands of things, thousands of valuable things without any problem. In every temple all over South, East, West and North India, we did pujas, abhishekams and have close darshans of the gods and goddesses. So far, we have seen the following places and temples of worthy places, temples and worthy places. 1. Virupaksha temple in Vijayanagar, Hampi, Vijayanagaram. 2. Hazara temple in Hampi and Vijayanagaram. Tungabhadra Dam, Karnataka. Gokarnam, Karnataka. Dharmasthal, Karnataka. Udupi temple, Lord Krishna, Karnataka. Sringeri Saraswati Mata temple, Karnataka. Goa, Marmagova, Vasco da Gama and Panaji. Bangalore city in Karnataka. Halabedu, Belur and Gomateshwaram in Karnataka. Shravana in Karnataka. Mysore, Karnataka. Ooty, Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu, Tiruvannamalai in Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, Brihadeshwara Temple in Tanjavur in Tamil Nadu, Chidambaram Temple in Tamil Nadu, Suchendram Temple in Tamil Nadu, Kanyakumari Temple in Tamil Nadu, Kumbakonam, Palani, Tiruchendur temples in Tamil Nadu, Srirangam, Kanya Temple, Dhanushkodi, Rameshwaram Temple in Tamil Nadu. We have seen not only these big temples but also many small temples and in small towns and villages. We have completed our tour in South India. Our minds were filled with so much of enthusiasm to see some more temples in North India. All these days were blessed days. These days are These days were auspicious days in our lives. We had attached our minds totally with the divine and spiritual experiences. As a result of this, we totally detached ourselves with our family members and our so called friends. I was neither mentally nor physically in touch with any one of my relatives or friends. But wherever I go, there I had prayed for our family welfare and welfare of one or two my friends. Now, now and then I used to write a letter to our family members. We did have we did we used to have our meals in hotels. We didn't have our meals in the hotels. Wherever we go, there we used to cook our food. My mother was expert in cooking. We used to cook in waiting rooms of railway stations. We used to cook out in the ashrams. We used to cook in gardens. And we used to cook in the rooms of the lodges. In those days, the people were not selfish. They were cooperative and helpful. Wherever we go, there we got help and cooperation from the people and the society. I was so liberal. We easily used to mix with the new persons. Number of people helped in our journey. Day by day, my communication skills, my conversational skills, my interacting skills, and my adjustmental abilities and creative faculties were increased or raised in me or started expanding by leaps and bounds. My meditation practice was continuous. The thickest layers of ignorance which covered my conscious and subconscious mind gradually started disappearing in me. My consciousness level started transcending to higher level. My intelligence quotient was also raised. My emotional quotient also raised to peaks. My attitude towards my family, towards society, and towards my country changed in a positive direction. On the whole, there was a great transformation in my personality. Then, according to our plan, we moved towards North India. I had forgotten all the problems, all the miseries, all the difficulties I had been experienced in more than 4 years. The restless in my mind disappeared, my mind and heart was purified, and the energy levels in my soul rised. My mother purchased different things at different places. It became heavy, but I didn't feel any hardship or tension with this luggage. We put our luggage in the train and started towards Kasi. We got down in Itachi railway station. We took rest in the railway station for a couple of hours, and in the night we got into Varanasi train. We had reached to Varanasi and went to Vaishya and stayed there for more than 5 days. All the worst friendships vanished. My consciousness level rised or increased, but my friends and relatives' consciousness level remained the same. The gap between me and the so called friends increased. I was isolated from many ordinary things. Now, books were my never failing friends with whom I lived for many years. 2 months passed, my examinations time for LLB course came. I have joined in LLB in Nanded in Maharashtra. First year exams would be held in next 2 months. I rushed to Nanded where they told me that the last date for fee is over. But if I go to Marathwada University, they will accept the fee. So I went there and met few people who cordially helped me. A university has given permission and I paid the fee and visited Aurangzeb's wife's home and came back to Hyderabad. Some students laughed at me for negligence and carelessness. Two students in Maharashtra University helped me in this regard. Anil, Ashok and Buji became friends from Hyderabad. I have purchased books and guides from Law Publico. I have gone through these books. These books were new to me, but I didn't have confusion, and day by day and night I was with books. For all the examinations, I used to read more than 15 hours. God has given me tremendous memory power, amazing photographic memory, and extraordinary concentration power. With these powers, I used to go through all the books in detail. I used to go through the guides in detail. I went to Nanded lonely and a Air Force employee met me and we took a lodge and stayed there for more than a week. I wrote well all the examinations. Very soon, after 1 month, we came to know that I was passed in the first year with second class. Most of them were surprised to see my performance. In the same way, in 1984 November, I have paid fee for my MA first year and purchased some more books. I have gone through all the political philosophies deeply. I think in 1983, my parents again wanted to go North India tour. This tour started in the month of April. Appa, who was a resident of Hyderabad, was a organizer in tours and travels. In Afzalganj, he came to Gajwel for candidates. He gave huge discount to my father. Along with my father, 10 to 15 members joined. Total members were 55. Most of them were above 50 years. Only I and one more boy were below 20 years. We have toured more than 80 days. It is the most longest tour in my life and my parents' life. We went to this tour only because of the bless of God and the past births and present births punya karma of my mother, my father and me, without which it was most impossible for us to have a tour. God is great. He had been showing abundance of bless and care. Due to my ignorance, I had not recognized completely His bless. In the course of time, when I see the lives of other people, I started realizing the greatness of God. I am understanding more and more about bless of God and how it flowed through my life. These 80 days we were totally under the protection of the God. We did not face any problem. We did not lose not even a single item. In all these days we were totally in tune with divinity. We never felt bored. We were totally under detached mode from our society, from our friends, from our relatives. Days were passed quietly. So days passed like so many 80 days passed like 1 month. Most of my obsessed wishes fulfilled by God. I did not maintain any sort of relationship with anybody. Many times, under the guidance of my Father, things are moving. Ups and downs are there in me. Sometimes I am under the influence of bad stars, and sometimes I am under the influence of lucky stars. In our tour, with my little knowledge in medicines, I have given medicines to some persons who were suffer from diarrhea, fever, and other ailments. Though I did not have any medical knowledge, I have given, but I have gained so much of medical knowledge in the course of time. We had started our tour from Hyderabad and went to Vijayawada, where we had the darshan of Kanakadurga Mataji, and in the night we reached to Annavaram, and from this place we went to Simvachalam, where we had the darshan of Sri Varaha Lakshmi Narasimha Swami, where we have seen Sri Krishna Devarayara Kalyana Mandapam. We reached to from this place we went to Orissa. We reached to Bhuvaneshwar, where we had seen Lingaraja temple. The entire temple was very beautiful. It was constructed by different kings in different time. These are the most wonderful and world famous temples of Bhuvaneshwar. From this temple we went to Puri. This is also very wonderful temple in East India. It was constructed by Orian kings and kings of Kalinga. There were many wonderful and surprises things we would see in this Puri Jagannatha temple. Subhadra, Balabhadra, Sri Krishna. 3 statues were made up of wood, and in the month of June we would see the Jagannatha Ratha Yatra. Millions of people would attend in this yatra. And we reached Puri and we have seen the construction of the Ratha. It was very big, hundreds of people working to construct the Ratham. At Puri, we had seen Lord Jagannatha, Balarama and Subhadra Devi. At the chariot was under the construction. From this place, we went to Konark temple by 2 p.m. We are moved in this temple and watched all the statues At this time, there was not light and sound show. This time, I was carrying Avka camera with which we can take black and white photos. We had taken photos at Konark Temple. This tour provided me so much of photographic knowledge. I took hundreds of photos. These photos had been giving immense joy and happiness till this day. These photos were with me. I was surprised to see the erotic statues in this temple. It is marvelous construction. Most of the sexual posters were highly creative. These posters were sculptured with black stone. Thousands of people are coming and seeing this temple. It is a wonderful temple related to erotic life. From this temple, from this place, we were on the way to Kolkata. We reached to Kolkata in the night. In Kolkata, we slept in front of police station on the road. As soon as we entered into this Kolkata, the police people collected 50 rupees from us, from our organizer. At this time, the communists were ruling Bengal state. In Kolkata, we went to Dakshineshwar Kalimata temple. We had a bath in Hooghly river. Then we had after we had the darshan of Kalimata. I was very much happy to see my mother Kali. I knew many things about this Mataji by Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Swami Vivekananda. We had seen houses of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. From there we went to Belur Math, where we have seen beautiful temples of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. It was wonderfully constructed. It is a very, very big temple. And we saw Swami Vivekananda's building and his materials. We saw Swamiji's Samadhi. I was very much happy at this place. These wonderful and beautiful memories are unforgettable. By seeing all these temples, my wisdom increased by leaps and bounds. I went to planetarium and watched all the planets and galaxies and different things in the universe. First time in my life we have seen this planetarium in Kolkata. From here we went to Victoria Mahal. In this Mahal we would see statues of all the Governor Generals and Viceroys of British rulers in India. All the statues were carved and they are made up of marble stones. Knowledge in history was widened in me. Knowledge of temples, knowledge of historical places, knowledge of divine places, knowledge of spiritual personalities, knowledge of political leaders and political parties improved automatically. I am extremely grateful to my father and mother who have shown me all these wonderful places. From Kolkata, we moved towards Kashi. We came to Kashi and got down in Andhra Ashram. We had our bath in Ganga river. My father completed the Pinda Pradhana ceremony on the Ganga Ghats. We went and did puja and abhishekam to Lord Vishwanath. We did Kumkuma Archana in Annapurna Mata temple. My mother did different types of pujas in Kashi temples. I think we had stayed 5 days in Kashi. We had seen all the gods. We went to Vasakasi and saw Lal Bahadur Shastri's home, second Prime Minister of India, and saw Guns Museum in the King's Palace. In this museum, thousands of guns were there of different types belongs to 17th, 18th and 19th centuries from different countries. From here we went Sarnath where we saw different Buddha temples belongs to different countries, especially Japan, Thailand and China. Next we went to Prayaga or Triveni Sangamam, where also my father did Pinda Pradhana ceremony. We have travelled in the boat also, had bath in Triveni Sangam. In Triveni Sangam means where three rivers Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati would meet. It is considered as the holiest place in India. If we did dip in this place, in these rivers, all our bad karmas will vanish. This is the belief of Hindus. We went to Buddha Gaya and other in Bihar state. From Bihar, Rexora place, we went to Nepal country. We reached to Kathmandu by 4 o'clock. We went to Pashupatinath temple and completed Abhisheka and Puja. We went to international market where I have purchased 3 t-shirts of top quality. My mother purchased pearls and other items. Next day we came back to Rexora where some people demanded Mamuli and all of them collected some money and from us and handed over to them. From Nepal we came to Lucknow where we have seen a big mosque and we did not stay there in Lucknow. By seeing different places we came to Delhi. On the way to Delhi we moved towards Ayodhya where we stayed and took one big room. Most of the tourists got down and few of them sleep in the bus itself. Everybody was tired. Next day when we opened the door and saw some of our co-tourists' suitcases were missing. When they opened the suitcase, their ornaments and money was stolen. We had searched everywhere, but we didn't trace out anything. How did they steal? We were unable to find answer to these questions. They read a lot. They lost all the money. The co-passengers provided some money to continue the tour. This is the only one bad incident which took place in our entire tour. In our tour, generally people would face the problems of sleep and problems of food. Generally, ordinary people don't get delicious food. But our leader, Appa, could do some miracles. He motivated one by one to do Annadana in the name of their parents. Every day one family came forward and used to pay bill for that day's cooking material or food with 2 or 3 curries, sambar, curd, sweet items were provided for more than 60 days for all the people. My parents arranged food for one day. Everybody felt happy with this Annadana program. We went to Sarayu Nadi, a river which flows in Ayodhya. There were hundreds of tortoises were there. We came to Ramajanmabhoomi temple, where we had darshan. We had the darshan of Sri Ramachandra. We stayed in Ayodhya. We have stayed in Ayodhya only one day. We hadn't seen all the temples in this pious city. From Ayodhya, we came to Delhi. In Delhi, we have seen Sri Lakshmi Narayana Birla Temple, constructed by Birla and opened by Mahatma Gandhi in 1935. It is a large temple. Thousands of people would come to this magnificent temple. We have seen Gandhi Ghat, Nehru Ghat, and other ghats in Delhi. From here we went to Red Fort and Pandava Fort, and finally we came to Jama Masjid. In the next, we did some shopping in Delhi. I didn't have sufficient money to purchase some electronic gadgets. I have purchased some cassettes, but I didn't have money to purchase a tape recorder. From Delhi, we went to Haridwar, where we had Ganga Ma darshan and bath in Ganga river. We went and had the darshan of Lord Shiva and Parvati Mata. In the site of Dakshina Yagnam. Next day, we have reached to Rishikesh. We stayed at Lakshmana Jula and moved on near Lakshmana Jula and moved on it from one side to another. There was 15 floors building was there, in which different models of temples were constructed. We had seen all the 10 floors temples. It is a wonderful experience. Here I visited Swami Shivananda Maharaj ashram in Rishikesh, where we have spent 2 hours. We had darshan of Sri Krishna and stayed in the ashram. I have stayed in the ashram. This is my Guru's ashram, and I felt very much happy in staying this ashram. And after seeing all things in the ashram, we came out and moved to our satram. And in the evening, we did boating in Rishikesh, and it was a pleasurable moment in our life. We had tiffins in a restaurant. We used to eat more kulfis in this season. From here, we moved towards Kedarnath. We have traveled in the buses belongs to their state only. They were very sound. The buses are very new, and the engine's position is very sound. They would go with more speed. They can travel with more than 60 kilometers. Drivers were perfect in driving. We had traveled hundreds of kilometers. The mountains are very large and wide. It was a wonderful experience for us. The atmosphere was cold and nice. The mountains looked very beautiful. Rivers could flow from the mountains to the downward. The water waves were very pure and cold. It is highly mineralized and medicated water. From Rishikesh onwards, all the people started doing bhajans and chanted the name of the Lord. Devotees automatically turned into divine. days and nights travel. We took rest in Joshimat. From here we went to Kedarnath. We did both and little bit of, and after having little bit of snacks, we started moving towards Kedarnath. After having baths in cold water and in hot water in Gauri Kund, we could see two types of water in such a height. All the members in our bus paid money and sat on the horses. It is a dangerous journey. By chanting the name of the Lord, people could go upward to reach Kedarnath. It is 18 kilometers from bottom of the Kedarnath to Kedarnath temple. I wore a jacket and took a stick and started trekking with my uncle. We both happily started climbing. We could see tens of waterfalls on the way. Clouds would come towards us. Here and there we can see ice mountains on the way. We could see tea stalls. We had climbed more than 14 kilometers from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the evening. My parents sat on the horses and they too reached at the same time. It was an amazing experience. These memories were unforgettable. At 6:30 p.m. I reached into Kedarnath temple and touched the feet of the Lord. It was very cold and had some darkness covered us. When we reached the temple, beyond the temple, the mountains looked like silver mountains. It was very beautiful. I have touched the Kedarnath, Lord Kedarnath's feet and prayed God for peace and prosperity. I have entered into temples twice, 8 and 8 p.m. We came to room. It was very cool. I think the temperature might be 5 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees Celsius. We took big blankets and slept in the night. We got up early in the morning and did baths with hot water. My mother and father entered into the temple and did Abhishekam and other pujas. We have completed all the pujas by 10 a.m. We had a little bit of tiffin. We took 2 photos. One is of color and another is black and white. My parents again got up onto horses and started downwards. I too started downwards trekking. We reached to the down Kedarnath at 6 p.m. in the night. We slept there and got up early in the morning and came to bus stop to sit in the bus to travel towards Badrinath. I came to bus by 4:30 to sit in the front seat. At this time, more than 20 dogs, big dogs, came towards us and gathered around us and started barking loudly. They were big in size. I asked my co-passengers not to run and stay without any movement. They had barked some time and dispersed in different ways, in different directions. We got into the bus and sat in front seat. All other people came and sat. By the bless of God, we did not face any problem with the dogs. We moved towards Badrinath. We have started our journey towards Badrinath temple at 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know the importance of this temple, but in the course of time, I knew more about this, the importance of the places like Badrinath and Kedarnath. At present, I know that Himalayas are the spiritual capital city of the world. Sri Narayana Sharma's autobiography, Swami Rama's autobiography, and autobiography of Yogananda helped me to understand the greatness of Himalayas. We have traveled more than 2000 kilometers, I don't know exactly, and from Kedarnath to Badrinath. We have traveled more than 6 hours in the bus to reach Badrinath. We reached Badrinath. At 8 a.m. we have completed our bath near a river to the temple site, and we entered into the temple and had the darshan of Sri Badrinarayana and other gods. I had visited 2 times this temple into the temple and prayed for welfare of our family and smooth journey to our place. We had taken photos. Everybody came out from the temple and had lunch at 2 p.m. We started towards Haridwar. We traveled and finally reached to Haridwar. The people in our buses stopped doing bhajans and stopped chanting the Lord's name. We reached to Himachal Pradesh and went to the site of Bakranangal Dam. While seeing this dam, we came into contact with a Andhra Pradesh executive engineer who was doing job in that dam. We requested him to show the entire dam. He took us to the entire center of the dam or inside the dam. He had shown the turbines and how the turbines can produce electricity. I clearly understood the entire process of production of hydroelectricity. Our yatra was yatra of spirituality, the yatra of Vijnanam, and it is the yatra of Vinodam also. It became multi-purpose tour. We went to east, from east we went to north, and from north to north we went to west. We had traveled different direction in different direction. We have seen the dam and happily we thanked him and came to Jammu city. In Jammu city we had seen very huge Spatika lingams. After having lunch, we started towards Srinagar, the capital city of Jammu and Kashmir. The mountains are covered with mulberry wood trees. We have passed over many small bridges made up of mulberry wood. We came to know that it is the hardest wood in India. We came across meadows and green grasslands. The climate is very calm and seems serene. The entire atmosphere is clean and cool. The people are simple and they are red in color. color. I think in the evening we went to the birthplace of Jhelum River. As my desire to see wonderful places are fulfilling, my mind is experiencing extreme levels of peace and joy. Only few people can get this type of experience in their adolescent period. Now and then I am writing letters to our brothers. Next day we were taken in the Srinagar river to different places. The river was highly polluted. All the dirty water is pouring from the houses to this river. All our, all our fellow beings first felt unhappy and stopped going further. We came back to our lodge and did bath. At 3 p.m. we went to beautiful spots in Srinagar. We had seen Mughal gardens. We had seen Jawaharlal Nehru hanging garden, but we had not seen Shankaracharya's mutt. I had wandered here and there in Srinagar. Srinagar was filled with our military people. The girls and women were very beautiful. I didn't have any sort of shopping there. Our fellow passengers were purchased some towels, some shawls and towels without seeing their condition. They came to lodge and I asked them to open them. When they opened the shawls, we found that number of small holes on the shawls. In this way, they had cheated. They had cheated by the people of Kashmir. We did not purchase anything. Next day we got down to Jammu city, from where we went to Amritsar city. Actually, our bus people feared to enter into Punjab because the violent activities was started by the Brindan Wale, and he was there in the Golden Temple. We visited Jallianwala Bagh incident place. From there, we directly entered into the Amritsar Golden Temple. We had seen the temple. I moved inside the temple and had the darshan of Guru Granth Sahib. The entire temple was filled with Brindanwale's followers. We had taken some rotis from the temple complex, and after having tiffin, we came out of the temple and did some shopping in the shops. We had purchased 4 to 5 sweaters and they are very cheap. We went to Kurukshetra where Mahabharata war took place. Lord Krishna delivered his Gita to Arjuna. We had stayed for a couple of hours from here. From here we went to Chandigarh. We had seen Rocking Garden. We had seen Assembly Hall and Secretariat. We are moved into Punjab Secretariat area and Haryana Secretariat. We have stayed in Chandigarh in the one day, and the entire town is filled with beautiful gardens. Either side of the road are covered with greenery. Different plants are there. They are beautiful. They are with flowers. They are with beautiful flowers. We are very happy to see the Chandigarh city. So far we have completed AP, Orissa, West Bengal, Bihar, Nepal, UP, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir, Punjab and Haryana. Now we have to visit Gujarat and Maharashtra. We are toured Mathura also. It was at 7 pm. We are reached and directly went to Mathura temple and saw the Lord Krishna darshan and had the Lord Krishna darshan. And we took rest and traveled towards other places. We are reached to Porbandar where we had seen our father of nations home, that is Mahatma Gandhi's home. From there, via Bhavanagar, we went to Somnath temple. We had bath and in that Somnath we had taken a satram in the Somnath temple after having bath, and we went to see Somnath temple. And we have seen both old and new Somnath temples. And Somnath temple Shiva darshan was completed. We had stayed up to lunch hours, and after having lunch we traveled towards Dwaraka. We have reached to Dwaraka by 4 pm. Directly we went and see the Dwarakanath, that is Lord Krishna. We had the darshan of Lord Krishna and other gods. We wanted to go Bet Dwaraka, the capital city of Sri Krishna. We had traveled in the Arabian Ocean for more than 1 hour. We reached to this island safely. We have seen Lord Krishna's temple. We moved here and there. I was unable to take photos here. We came back to our residing place and traveled towards Omkareshwar temple near Ahmedabad. We have stayed in Dwaraka and watched the beach side and Dwaraka temple very closely, and tomorrow we decided to go Omkareshwar. We went to Omkareshwar temple after cleaning ourselves in the Narmada river or doing bath in Narmada river. We went to Omkareshwara temple situated on the mountain side. We did Abhishekam to Omkareshwara and came to see Narmada river. We came to bridge site and I and my mother had a photo on the bridge. We have not visited Sabarmati Ashram in the Ahmedabad. From Ahmedabad, we have started our journey to Surat. Surat is a big city famous for cotton mills, famous for polyester sarees, and famous for pearl business, and famous for many other things in West India. We have stayed in a lodge, and after having tiffin we went for shopping in the Surat. My father purchased some sarees for my mother, and I haven't purchased anything in the Surat. This is a very highly developed town and people are highly developed. They are busy with their activity. People who are also energetic in Surat After seeing Surat, we decided to go other place in Gujarat. After completion of Gujarat tour, we decided to go Madhya Pradesh. We directly went to Ujjain town. Here, Ujjain Mahakaleshwara temple was very famous. We had bath in the river near Ujjaini, and my father did Pinda Pradhana ceremony to his father. After completion of this ceremony, we entered into the temple and performed Abhishekam to Mahakaleshwar Maharaj. My mother did pujas and small did some danas to the Brahmins. We came to have lunch. After having lunch, we moved towards Honda, Vaidyanat's Jyotirlingam. So far, we have the darshans of following Jyotirlingas in our life. First, Ramalingeshwara temple at Rameshwaram. 2. Srisalam Mallikarjuna temple at Srisalam. 3. Kashi Vishwanath at Varanasi. 4. Somanatheshwara temple at Somnath in Gujarat. 5th. Aunda temple in Maharashtra. 6th. Parli Vaidyanath. 7th. Naganath in Gujarat. Kedarnath in Uttarakhand. Now we are on the way to Parli Vaidyanath. We went there, and after having darshan and Abhishekam, we moved towards Krishneshwara at Ellora. Ellora, it is a famous Jyotirlinga temple called Krishneshwara temple. We had darshan and Abhishekam in the temple. My father, my mother and ourselves sat in the temple for more than 1.5 hours, and we peacefully completed our Abhishekam and pujas in the temple. After completion of our puja, we came to our satram, and after having lunch, we went to see Kailasa temple in Ellora. And this was the huge gigantic temple in Maharashtra, and saw the entire structure. It was huge and gigantic structure. It is considered as one of the wonderful temple in South India. That stone was constructed from only one monolithic stone. Millions of tons of stone was carved from upward to downward. No temple in the world was constructed like this. Now modern scientists and modern archaeologists are feeling surprised to see this construction. I have stayed in this temple for more than 1.5 hours and watched the different gods in the temple. We moved here and there in the temple. From here we went to Shirdi Sai temple in Shirdi. Last year I visited this place after passing LLB first year. We did puja in this temple. Mental instability disappeared from me. Some mental abnormalities vanished with the darshan of Lord Shirdi Sai Baba. In the evening we went to Shani Singapuram, where we did puja to Shaneshwara. From here we went to Pandaripur, where we had the darshan of Sri Panduranga Swami. I knew many things about Panduranga through Sakkubai film. Also, I knew Leelas of Panduranga through Bhakta Tukaram film. I made these films made me to think about this Lord. I was very much happy to see Sri Panduranga Swami and Srimati Rukmini Mata. I think before coming to this place, we went to Bhima Shankaram to have the darshan of Bhima Shankara. It is situated in the hill area. The area around this temple is pure and beautiful. We did Abhishekam and prayed the Lord. This is also a famous Jyotirlingam in Maharashtra. From here we went to Nashik where we did puja and Abhishekam to Triambakeshwar. This is also a famous Jyotirlingam. And we stayed in the temple for more than 2 hours. And we came back to our Satram temple complex, in which all the Jyotirlinga. We came to see one great temple in which all Jyotirlingas were established. We had the darshan of all lingas at one place. We are missed to see the birthplace of Godavari river. We came to Hyderabad after seeing Humnabad's Baba's Samaji. We reached to Hyderabad where all the people dispersed to their homes. All these 80 days we traveled nicely without any quarrels, without any misunderstanding. There was a great amount of affection existed among all of us at that time. We directly went to Hanuman temple in the Gajwel, from where we were welcomed to our home with Mangala Vaidyalu and drums. My brothers and sister-in-laws washed the feet of my parents. It was a happy ending of our tour, which was unforgettable in our life. This tour changed my perception and my behavior. My levels of consciousness was highly improved. The disturbances in my mind were vanished. So much of peace entered into my consciousness and subconscious mind. This tour gave me high levels of courage in me and developed so much of trust and faith in God. Then finally, I am thankful to God, I am thankful to my mother, I am thankful to my father, and I am thankful to my entire family members. And finally, I am ever thankful to Appa and his family who provided all the facilities to us in this entire tour. In this way, by the bless of God, I have completed North, South India, North India, East India, West India tour, and we have seen almost 80% of India's important places. We have traveled thousands of kilometers without any problem. We have traveled on the trains, we have traveled on the buses, we have traveled on the boats, we have traveled on long cars, jet cars, and all the vehicles. For this, we are extremely grateful to our Father, that is God. Without the bless of God, we wouldn't have seen any of this place. We came to Hyderabad in the month of August. Now I was with so much of peace and joy. I have collected the books for MA final examinations going to held in the month of November 1984. On the another side, I had been preparing for IAS prelims. The people around me developed so much of confidence in me. In the month of July or August, I had applied for B.Ed course entrance tests. First time centralized entrance test was going to conduct for more than 40,000 students in arts group. Mr. Ravi and Mr. Mutyalu bought the application form for me and applied for the entrance test. I was well equipped with the knowledge in history, geography, and political science and English subject. I simply went and for the entrance test in Vivekavardhani College, which is very near to our home. I had completed the question paper within 60 minutes. Till still half an hour time was remained. I don't know about my capacity, but others knew well about my capabilities. I confidently came out from the examination center. They told me that I was going to get the seat in Hyderabad only. The result was published in the paper. I got the second rank in the state. Mutyalu copied from me all the bits. He also got the same rank. In the month of December, they called us for admissions in OU. In the beginning, I thought that I would join in OU campus, but when I went there, forces made me to join in comprehensive college, as most of the people told me that comprehensive college is the number one college in Andhra Pradesh state. And so I joined in the comprehensive college, which is situated in Vidyanagar colony. Other side, I wrote MA final and passed with second division. I have joined in the college. We regularly used to attend the college and the classes. The people around thought that I could join in an ordinary job in near future, but I was not interested in doing jobs. But wholeheartedly, I had completed the B.Ed course and became academic leader in my class. I had secured 62% of marks with first division. Everybody used to respect me, and I used to give respect to all my college mates. By the bless of God, I had secured BA degree in 1982. I got my PG degree in 1984, and I got B.Ed pass certificate in 1985 December. All these qualifications were the proof of my father's. God's bless. My consistent link with divinity helped me to come back to educational field with flying colors. In the month of December 1985, notification for M.Ed admission came in papers. Thousands of students were ready to appear for it. I deeply studied all the subjects in B.Ed only. I taught B.Ed subjects to my classmates also. So I am very much condensed in different subjects, very much perfect in different subjects. It was also centralized entrance test like B.Ed last year. Most of the B.Ed students had been preparing by collecting very good notes and books. I had not gone through any notes and had not taken seriously about this test. I was allotted to write my examination in Andhra Mahila Vidyalayam, which is in which is very near to Vsnm.My University. I wrote the entrance test with calm mind. I had divided the time according to questions. Half of the paper was objective and our remaining half was essay type. My mind worked well. Above all, the divine forces was worked on me. I wrote well and I don't know whether I could get the seat or not. Mr. Purushottam was a classmate of me. He told me that I would certainly get first rank in the sentence test. He predicted well, but I told that I didn't know about my future. 1 month after I went to B.Ed college in Osmania University. A list was pasted in the notice board. I found that my name was put in the list and it was in the first name only. In other words, I had secured first rank in M.Ed. This was a surprising and wonderful thing in my life. I thank the God for His bless. Though there were many difficulties, there are many financial problems to me while I was doing B.Ed. B.Ed examinations completed successfully from December 1984 to August 1995. We had attended our theory and practical classes regularly. Most of the students were regular to the college and the classes. We all are merit students. Day by day, my academic talents revealed magnificently. As a top rank holder, I was given importance by most of the students. I wore the t-shirts brought from Nepal to my house. Different people used to visit. I had been reading books of B.Ed, the subjects like educational trends, educational administration, philosophical foundations of education, psychological foundations of education, English methodology, and social studies methodology. Previously, I was familiar with general psychology. I was not familiar with other subjects. Though I was new to these subjects, I was never feared of any subject. Self-learning skills in me are more active and dynamic. The power of concentration also highly developed due to regular practice of meditation. Meditation became part and parcel of my life since intermediate only. This practice was nothing but the continuity of my past life activity. Jagan Mohini, Ramakrishna, and John Wesley were my close friends. Different students came from different groups who were always in my company. Ashok became my friend outside of our college. Examination date announced. I had worked a lot and learned all the concepts from all the subjects. I used to read Telugu medium books and English medium books. I had been under so many disturbances, but I never neglected my duty. I used to teach different subjects to different students. I had completed all my lesson plans and completed all the assignments. I had worked so hard to complete the lesson plans. Most of them had copied all my lesson plans. I had helped most of the students. On the whole, it was a wonderful experience. In Nanded, I have to write my final examination. We have to prepare well for B.Ed examinations in Hyderabad. I wrote all the examinations well. In first paper, I was missed 10 marks paper, but out of overlooking, I decided to not to commit same type of mistakes in all other examination. I wrote all the examination carefully, better than all of my friends. We had completed our examinations well, and practicals were remained. I was some extent worried about English practicals. After 2 months, they had conducted the remaining two practical. I had completed English practical as usual, but for social studies, I had to come from Nanded as I was writing LLB final year examinations. God's miracle worked here. Today I have to write examination in Nanded and have to start towards Hyderabad the next morning. Have to attend the social studies practicals in the next day. I came to Hyderabad and attended the practical in interview that made him trouble me. The same night I was back to Nanded to write one more paper in the next morning. I never lost my faith in God, and I was not under extreme levels of anxiety. After reaching Nanded, I had to teach LLB paper to 10 more students of LLB final year. It was a wonderful experience in my entire educational career. My friends surprised to to see my behavior. I know that divine force worked on me well. Last paper was drafting and reading. I wrote this paper well, better than other persons who had been working as judges for more than 20 years. Some people bought different court files also. The result was declared after 1 month. By the bless of God, I have passed with second class. Most of them failed in some subjects. Now I had acquired 3 degree certificates and 1 PG certificate. Still, I didn't know in which profession I can join. Now people recognized me as an educated person and started respecting me. Meanwhile, at Gujwal, my brothers spoiled the total peace of mind of my parents. Our income level are very low. My elder brother was separated from the family. My father became weak physically and mentally and economically. We used to feel sad for his children's conditions. I was joined in M.Ed with great moods. The lectures in the College of Education, Vsnm.My, gave me so much of value. Most of my classmates were highly caliber students, but they did not get rank like me. At this period, I was physically strong and attractive, mentally highly balanced, psychologically highly dynamic. I was highly experienced, expressive. As soon as I completed B.Ed, we had a plan to establish a school. By the blessing of God, we got one school on lease. We started a tutorial from KG to PG. Number of students joined in our school in Saifabad.